Oh yes, it's that Friday feeling. The Friday feeling has arrived. In fact, it's a bit of a cheat because it's Saturday, but that Friday feeling is still coming on. Yes, it is. We still find time to have fun. Yes, we do. On the last few days, in fact, the last day or the last day but one of 2023. Yes, it becomes the New Year's Eve tomorrow, and then it becomes the 2024, which hopefully my journey will continue and actually get a lot more flying in. Anyway, for now we're building, so let's get to it. Alrighty, so we're at the bench. Yes, we are. Now, we was doing the wings last time we was making a video, and we'll go back to them a little later in this video about how far we've got the wings and what we've done and everything else. But today we are looking at the tail section. Yes, let's have a look at the tail section. We are looking at the horizontal, and we're also looking at the vertical stabilizers. Now, this is quite simple. I have cut the bits and pieces out of the balsa, so you're ready to rock and roll. Something's humming in here. I don't know what it is, but it's echoing. Shouldn't say echo because she's over there. She'll think I'm talking to her. Anyway, so I've cut all the bits and pieces out, and I have sanded them, pre-done them. So yes, this is the new me for the up and coming 2024. Prepared. I'm just lucky this time. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. We got one there, and we got a C6 there, and we got a C5, but back to front, so we can't see it. And the same with there, and the same with there. Now, a slight issue. Well, it's not an issue. It's just that I've actually got to cut these out and make them myself, the spars, and also gussets. Yes, I remembered gussets. So we've got gussets to fit in there as well, and the same with spars here and here and here. Also, on the vertical, we've got some here, I've got to make, and some here I've got to make. So there's plenty of stuff to make. Now I think it's my little can here, my Red Bull. Yes, I'm showing my can of Red Bull, you see. The reason I show this is so maybe Red Bull a sponsor, Dad's RC Hanger. It's worth a go, no? Anyway, what we're going to do, yes it was that was making a noise. There you go. So what we're going to do, I think what we'll do is now have sanded down these. They do come like when you've because they're laser, they're kind of blacky browny bits and pieces that you come with. I mean, there's one that's still got it on there if you see that. I'd have sanded this down because obviously the contact sides you do. I mean, if I wasn't going to make a video about this, I would take my time a bit more, and each section I took out I would sand down. Now I do suggest you get these little stick files. I mean, this file is now rubbed off. No, it's not. It's 240 one side and 400 another side. 400 grit, 240 grit. They are fantastic. And obviously, you've got some deeper ones as well. I mean, this is like 60 grit, 100 grit. Really rough. I mean, they could do me nails. Maybe they can. Anyway, let's go on edge. Brilliant. Can't do without them. Obviously, you've got to be careful because they do bend. So if you're not careful, you're going to be making a U. But, you know, do it a nice shape. These are invaluable. And this is what I did with this. You see, you just walk across there. Not walk across there, but stand across there. And, yeah, makes it all nice and clean. So get yourself some of these. If you haven't got some, look on some stick files, I think they're called. It's a set I got that I showed you in a previous video. Anyway, enough chitter-chatter. Let's go to the overhead cam. And let's start. So I think what we'll do is that I will place this one down. I will get this pin down so we can use our pins. So I'll be careful and don't stab myself. If I get this to where I want it, which is kind of like there. And I get there. In fact, I'll just come here so I can get it done there. And we do one this way. Oh, you can see these going through my fingers one day, can't you? How not to do it. But I have seen some other pins, but they're not here yet. They're like tack pins. They look like little golf tees, but with the pin. Yes, a lot more better. A lot more better. They will be better. So don't stab one's finger. Yes, there we go. Stick that in there. That's a bit. Yeah, I think I'll stick a couple more there because this is like, you know, this is the kind of like the backbone. Yes, it is. It's the backbone of the elevator kind of thing. Same with the other one as well. I will put that section down next to her afterwards. Once I start, excuse me. Once I had the humidifier on in the room, And I do apologise, it's made me a bit, yeah, plus of all the balsa. Anyway, the trouble is, it doesn't say anything about them. It hasn't got any numbers, hasn't got anything else. Now, there is one bit of wood. Let's just get this, because I will need this here. That belongs over there. There's one bit of wood here, the balsa, that's just got these lines. There's nothing else on it. So I reckon they are my little balsa. And a bit of a, you know, no, maybe not. There we go, there's two. So yeah, these do fit, they are the same size. There we go, so I've just got to cut them down in bits and pieces and get them level and straight, which they are not. They are all sort of skew-whiffed. So let's just do one anyway, because so I'm sure you don't want to sit here just watching me cutting balsa ribs. Right, okay, so we don't need the big one, we can use the little diddy one, so you can see more bits and pieces, what's going on. Excuse me, I do apologise that I'm all snotty. All snotty! Right, I think what I'll do, if I put that on a line and then get that on the line, maybe I'll just use a little saw. Are you going to be able to see that? Just about. If I zoom out, you could just... There we go. So, I should put a piece of timber balsa on the bottom there. A bit of rubbish balsa. So I use one of these kind of clippy things that's in it. And then I'm going to just put this down here. Now, you'd say, Chris, it's a bit OTT. Well, it's not when you're as bad at me as cutting. There we go. And then... There we go. Flat, straight edge. And then that will slot in there like so. It's a bit high on there, so I'm quite surprised that's high. So we've got a lot of sanding there. Now, if you do this... if you build this aeroplane, it's going to be a lot of sanding, yes. A lot of sanding. So I need to cut these down to their shapes. So I think what I'll do is I will cut these so they're all straight. Let's get that down there. Now the reason I'm putting a bit of wood underneath this aluminium is so it doesn't blunt the blade, because if it hits the aluminium it'll blunt it in the end. But at least there, look at that, yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so you can see the principle that's going on here. So I think what I'll do is I will cut out the rest of these. I think I will place this other elevator surface, which should be that one, which I can just do right next to there. It doesn't matter as long as it fits in with the line. Get that in so I can build all these, get them cut, and then we'll come back when we're about to glue. Alrighty. Alrighty, while I was doing this, I thought, well, it'd be good to actually show you, because obviously there is people out there that's just as newbie as me and would like to know what, you know, how I've discovered how I can do something. Well, so what I've done, I've cut these out so they all fit in there, and I've also cut these ends straight, because then my idea would be, once I cut here, that straight end will go into there, then I can cut the angled edge. Now, while they're in, I want to, if you can, should be able to see that you can, in the drawing, let's take that up. So this is where I want to, and it's angled. So the best way I could think doing it, is I'm just going to get on top. I'm going to mark where it is at the angle, so I'm following this edge here, like so. Just mark it, bring it up on the board, and then with the back of the blade that's the sharpest, I'm just going to rock around the clock. That's not how the song goes, but anyway, whatever. Oh, thank you very much. Just rock until it snaps, which it does, and then put it back in there, and it's just a bit off there, so then I can trim that off. But that's why I say to you, or I could probably just sand it actually. If I just drag it across the sand. Let's get a denser. Now that is which one's this one? There we go. Drag it off, or if I wanted to, I could do the other end, just so then I know it's not protruding and it's going to sit nice in the other side, which that is. I could probably just sand that down just a tad more, just a tad. As you know, you can take your time doing this sort of thing. It just so happens that I've done these three perfectly. I didn't need to sand it. There you go. So now that fits in that gap. So when we fit this in, which if I fit this one in here, he says, there you go. There you go. And that is on the line, which I will then pin, and then these will be straight and lovely dovely. But we'll come back and do it. So that's what I'm going to do anyway, so you don't need to see me glue and bits and pieces. I'll come back when we do these bits just to show you what's going on. Alrighty, I thought I would just, why not video gluing it? Because, you know, sometimes I see videos where people are doing stuff and suddenly it's built. It's like, whoa, 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 but how did you do that? Because what you got to remember is I'm a bit of a thick guy. Well, I'm not, but you know what I mean. Right, so let's go back to the overhead cam, or the kind of overhead-ish cam. Right, so I've cut all these down. Now, if you are a slightly bit over, then rub down the flat side, the back side. Otherwise, you'll end up making your cut, which is an angle cut, wrong. That's what I found anyway. Also in these drawings, these three here are right in the groove on the drawing here. But these three are slightly over, so I don't know what's happened there. So maybe this is going to be a bit lopsided plane. I'll use that excuse instead of the way I fly. How's that one? Right, so we've got a purpose-built gluer sticker. You can buy them in all major stores. Well, no, you can't. You can. It's just a bit of balsa. I'll just cut it down. Yes, I know. That crazy man. Yes, and it's just so I can fit it in here and just, you know, just paste it in there. Nice. I don't want to go too mad. Doesn't need a big ton of glue. And then we're going to do this side as well. I should have actually made it the actual width of the gap, the cutout, whatever you might call it. So just got to make sure that I'm putting these back correctly. Because if you put them in back to front, inside out and all over the place, you'd be laughing. Well, you wouldn't be, you'd be crying. Oh, God. Every time I hear that noise, that clunk noise. I'm not too worried about the glue spilling over it. This doesn't really stick to the cling film. It's pretty good, actually. And anything that I get on it, I just cut off with a knife. I'd rather it just sort of like be stuck nicely. And these ones are cut slanted as well. It's a bit weird. I think it's because it's on the slant, that's why. So, there we go. Hopefully this will all fit in. Now, I did pre-fit it. Dry fit it, if that's what the word I'm looking for. Yep, here we go. So I'm just going to push that in and push that in and then push that in. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull back out again, because just to make sure that this all fits as it should do. Which looks, oh, it looks about good about there. Yes, lovely. And that looks good about there. Lovely. Make sure these are all lovely jubbly, which they are. And then where's my blocks? Hopefully that will fit all across. It does. I'm just going to put my block on top there to make sure they're all done. So we'll just quickly do another one. Why not? Just, you know, you didn't get enough of that one. You want to see this one? There we go. Let's just put a bit on the end there just because I can. I must admit, I didn't, you know, I just forgot how great it is to do this. If you've never done it and you're just sticking with your phone, get one, try one. It's really satisfying. It really is. Okay, sometimes it's a bit annoying if you know, planes don't really give you everything. It's like, you know, no one said on the planes that I had to cut out these. You know, people have got to, you know, remember that not everyone is a seasoned bit. That was my saw and my bits that fell off the end. It's okay. It's alright. I'll pick them up in a minute. It did sound worse than it did. So, anyway, yes, not everyone's a seasoned builder, and everyone's got to start somewhere. So, when people out there are doing the Bible, or the plain Bible, as I like to call it, or the instructions, have a think about that. Don't presume that everybody knows what they're doing, because I certainly don't. I am literally, oh, hang on, hold tight. I am literally winging it. No pun intended. Maybe. Just pushing these down because that was pushing it up. Lovely, jubbly. There we go. So then I'm going to push this to this side over here. Make sure that's golden goose. You can tell someone's been watching. Oh, that's a bit of a bendy one. We'll get rid of that one. Someone's been watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory over Christmas. I hope everyone had Christmas. Today's the 30th, I believe. Yes, the 30th of December 2023. Yes, it's New Year's Eve tomorrow. I am looking after the dog tomorrow. I'm not doing anything partying, but I might do some building. Yes, there we go. My wife is actually looking after someone else's dog. We are look after dogs for rent this year. It's okay. Right, and then I'm going to chuck that down there, make sure they're all pushed down, which they are. They all sort of lined up-ish. That one could be a slightly bit over, actually. Slightly bit over. Let's not get that too excited. About there, yeah. This does matter. It's worth getting it. So this is quite. I love this white glue. 5 minutes, you know. Well, it's a bit more than 5 minutes, but about 5 minutes, and it starts to go. It's gloopy. Yes, that's the word. Gloopy. Okay, I'm going to go indoors and have myself a cup of tea. I'll have a refill, son. Always for a cup of tea. Okie dokie, welcome back into the hangar. Yes, I've had my cup of tea, I've had some lunch. Well, everything's drying. So let's look at the overhead cam and see where we are. And there you go. We see all the bits and pieces. Yes, I've got 4 of these. These are fantastic, these blocks. They really are. They're engineering blocks. As long as you degrease them, they're fantastic. It's little things, you know, didn't go together that well on this one. These little bits here seem to be a bit shorter than they should have been. But we can fill all that in bits and pieces. Now, I'm not going to go too mad here, and there's a reason why. I'm just going to take out these centres. Just so I need to mark up hinges now. I am a bit worried about time on this video. Mainly because I natter on so much. But this is quite important what I would like to do. So, I want to stick a hinge here, here and here. Here and here, yes. One must stick their hinges. Now the hinges, what we're going to got? I've got a box of hinges over here that you can't see because it's out of shot. And I've decided I want to use some pin hinges that I've been dying to use. That I got as some stock. Where are we? Let's go to the iPhone. There you go, little pin hinges. You know, lovely. So if we go back here, I want to stick these pin hinges. Now they are long, but we'll cut them down. Don't worry about that. Also, a little tip from Cliff Harvey as well is that if you cut like a little U or a little triangle, rectangle, then you can when you're gluing it, you could put the glue down. But I think that was more like one if I was using a normal one, not a hinge one. But I'd like to use a hinge one. Now the trouble is I have to cover it before I put the hinges in, so I'm probably going to use some type of glue that I can put the glue in the hole or in the slit, and it's not going to dry straight away like a CA glue, but we'll come to that. I think I need 4, so I want to probably put one here, and here. One would put the hinges over here, see, and I think that's going to be pretty sexy. Yes, I probably didn't need to use. See, that's pushed out a bit there. I've got lots of sanding to do. Sorry, I'm waffling on. Right. So I really, while it's in situ, I want to get a measurement because I'm going to be using the Dubro. If I can see it in the, if I'll show you in here, the Dubro hinge slots kit, and it's really cool. I'll get the back out. So these are interchangeable here. These little slots, they push off. Like so, and you can put them back on again. And then what they do, they slant like that so they can fit fairly decent bits of wood. It should fit the side of the wood that I'm using. I can't find it, which is this one. So hang on. So this is the similar size to the wood. I'm hoping that it will because I've actually is that way? Yeah, that way. It is a bit more of a gap, but I can always push that out a bit. This plastic bit, this I think I did, or I could always turn it around the other way. Doesn't need to, as long as it's the sort of slit. So as you can see, it comes up like with a little kind of like whatever. But if I put that around the other way, then that will go to as thin as possible, and that's all I need to do. Just so it holds that wood, you see, and then when you make a slit, you use a cutter, a slotter, And with that held, in fact I got the wrong, there is another slotter that's the same size as that. It makes, and I actually tried it actually earlier, it makes that. And then with that, oh, flying everywhere. With that you could just put your in the slot and boom, you cut this down, trim this down to wherever so it's not seen and everything else. And there's your little hinge, or a little pin hinge. Fantastic, very sexy. Oh yes, yes. But I need to get excuse me, the same on either side. So before I do that, I kind of need to measure, and we will measure probably, well, we could what are these? These are 15 millimeters. Okay, 15 millimeters. So I might need to push that one out. As long as I can get in here and do a. So if I go to the edge of that there, this is kind of called. It's called that 45. So if I could do the, I reckon if I can, you see what I'm doing? You can't see. There you go. You can see what I'm doing here. So if I put this roughly in the middle. Doesn't have to be dead center. So if I push that, say if I go for there, so my dead center hole would probably be there, right there. So when that will sit there, that will be there. So I think that's a nice one. And I'll do it the same as this side. I'll have to pull this one out now, keeping it level. Just so it's the same on each one. There you go. I'll put that there just as a line, base line really. In fact, it is a ruler's width from that, so I could probably do here. So let's get this off. I mean, this should all be dry. It's all flat. It has to be sanded. There's a lot of sanding to be done. I just want to see if I can just quickly do one hinge. To show you, and then, you know, because I did say we'd show you the wings before we finish today's show, and it's probably stuck, but there you go, unstuck, there you go. Okay, let's go to the earphone. There we go, look at that, beautiful, beautiful. This has got to be sanded down so it comes up more of a chamfer on the back one. But they've all got to be sanded down, where these slightly protrude, but we'll get a sander on there and sand all that. I've got to put some gussets in now. The gussets, I'm just going to use the bit of balsa wood that we actually cut these out with, the ribs, and just get the shape of the corner. Well, it won't be this one, it's this one actually. Get the shape of this corner, and then cut it to size, and pin it down and glue it again. But I just want to get this slot cutter done. So I'll just show you here, actually, just pop back here, that when you've got the space, if you keep going through this, it actually pushes it out. That's what we tried to do, but because we didn't have the space there, and it makes a lovely slot there, we couldn't do that. Okay, let me show you one of the wings, and here we go. Look at this. Fantastic. They are straight as well now. Hopefully you'll be able to see all of this. And the tip is on there as well. I just want to show you a picture here, that when you actually put the tip on, it doesn't come all the way to the top, and it doesn't really say anything about it, but you have got spare balsa in there. And what I did, as you see in the second picture, is I just glued another piece of balsa on top. And then, as you can see, if I can, hopefully that will focus in there. You can see it's all shaped down. I put the leading edge on, which was rectangle, as you saw. Now that is all shaped down as well. And you've got the slant. I'm not sure it goes on the trailing edge, so it slants down. Yeah, and I've still got a bit more sanding to do. You know, it's not perfect by any means, but to me that looks like a wing. Right, so, and there's the dihedral. It's not as big as I thought it would be dihedral, but that's the dihedral nevertheless. As if I sit right back here, you can see the wing. There you go. Beautiful. Look at that. Wonderful. And that all fits together pretty well. Shape it and bits and pieces and move it about, but I mean, I'm not doing it at the moment, but yeah. I've got to glue them together, so I mean, covering's going to be a whole new kettle of fish. Now, I did speak to Cliff about this. There is no dihedral brace. As Paul Heckle says, dihedral brace. There's no dihedral brace. So, what I've got to do is, from this rib here to this rib here, is I will get the, once I glue these together, I will get the angle of the wing, and cut out some I don't know, 3mm ply or whatever else, and then make slots in here, here, and then slot it in to give that strength. I was really surprised, not saying that it didn't have a dihedral brace. It does have like coverings that we like, little kind of like if you was walking out the plane on here and here to strengthen that bit up, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, I was quite surprised, really surprised about that. But there you go, there's the wing and there's the dihedral. Anyway, I'm conscious that this has gone way over what I wanted it to, but you did see the wings at the end of the day, and you have seen the progress of everything. I'm really happy with that sort of the vertical, horizontal stabilizer. Yeah, that is fantastic. It's got my little hinges in that I've always wanted to use, and now I can. It's fantastic. It just needs a bit more finesse, a bit more rubbing down, a bit more shaping and all that sort of lovely stuff before we go for covering. I think I'll get everything ready for the next video for covering. I think we can skip some of it because you've seen me build it. I've got a lot of sanding to do. Anyway, waffling again. Listen, if I don't speak to you, I'm sure I'll do a short or whatever for New Year's Eve. But if you don't, and you don't see the short and bits and pieces, have a great New Year's Eve. It doesn't matter if you're home, I'm at home. I'll watch my fireworks at midnight and I'll have a little tipple to see the new year in with FaceTiming with the wife. But if you're not going out, then get in the hangar. Do some fun stuff. Get stuff ready because, you know, that good weather just might be around the corner. Unless you're in somewhere in a lovely country that's sunny already, then get out and fly on that New Year's 2024. Yes, won't it be great to have the New Year's Day 2024 start the year as it meant to go on. The weather here is going to be the same for the next couple of weeks from what I can see, but I'm in the hangar, I'm happy, and I'm just, this creation of a plane is really, really something special, and hopefully giving me the skills and knowledge that I need to carry on building a bigger one. Even the Antoinette, even the Vulcan that's I've still got to be finished. But you learn by your mistakes. So hopefully if you are watching this, you'll have learned without doing mistakes, because you've learned from my mistakes. There's billions of ways of doing things, but I'm always interested in the comments because you guys and girls are full of knowledge. Anyway, thanks for popping by, and I really, really appreciate it if you stayed all the way to the end. But if you are doing anything and you are getting out, then be safe, keep safe, but most of all, have fun. Because this is what this RC hobby is all about, right? Listen, thanks a lot, and Happy New Year to you. Ta-da!